All right, welcome everyone to the Provo Design Review Committee. We'll quickly do brief introductions and state whether or not we have a conflict with this project. I'm James Hall, I live in Oak Hills, and I don't have any conflict.
Megan Geilman, no conflict.
Carol Walker, no conflict.
Bruce Fallon, no conflict.
All right, for item 1 today, AJ Shaffer requests design review approval for a new soda drive-through commercial building in the downtown gateway zone located at 825 West Center Street in the Franklin neighborhood. So yeah, we'll turn the time over for presentation.
Now it's on. There we go. Okay, so I am presenting this for Guzzle Soda. And let's see. So you can see that we've got a property map for the location at 825 West Center. And we've got the landscaping. And then we have elevations and just a couple of photos of the property, current property. The only two things that I will just mention is that pedestrian entrance is not required just because they don't have any seating inside. They won't be serving anyone inside. So for the downtown gateway standards, that isn't necessary. The 40% glass. So on the side facing the rear, or sorry, the side facing away from the street, there's, obviously 40% glass, but not currently on what they've got on the these. So if the building was flipped around, it would meet the 40% glass requirement. So I don't know if you have any questions for me.
I do. So they can't come in and order a soda just without sitting down. They can't come in at all.
There's a pedestrian window.
There's just a pedestrian window so somebody could walk up, but they're not going to see. They're not going to go inside the building.
And there's two separate ones for drive-through and ones for pedestrian. Thank you.
Can you go back to the site plan real quick? Okay. So the windows are facing down off the lower elevation, right? Or they're
That's my.
So yeah, the 40% glass is the side facing.
This side.
So the 40% glass is on that north. Yeah,
It says rear elevation.
it says rear elevation. It should actually say north elevation, but it's the side facing Center Street. That's where the drive-through is going around, and it has the pay window and the pickup window, and those are built into that storefront glass on that side. Yeah, I apologize. Sometimes view labeling is my weakness.
Is there any mechanical equipment on the building, or is it sitting on top, or
Do you want the
Sure.
developer to answer?
whoever can answer that? It just, again, the
Sure.
standards and requires
Sure,
screening, so.
This is a small enough building that it only requires a ductless mini split. So there's a small ductless mini split condenser that's on the outside of the building. We can either put it attached to the building on the in between the stairs and the building, if you see where the stairs and ramp are, or we can put it on the roof, whatever the city would prefer.
I'm just seeing the standard here saying mechanical screening is required, so.
Mhm. But yeah, it's a very small condenser.
Okay,
Sure.
this question isn't really necessary, but what's Guzzle soda? Is it a new soda?
So it's similar to Fizz,
Right.
Swig. It's just a different brand that they started out of Grantsville
Oh,
in Tuella
okay.
County, and they've been expanding in other areas, and so now they're
Okay, thank you.
adding a Provo store.
How set are they on that brown? The brown and the brick to me are not meshing well. You like it?
It's always hard. The renderings never really, that's why you look at this. Did you see this, Megan? Yeah, I see three building materials. Is that correct? But there's four on the.
So and we didn't include the glass on the material board,
Sure.
but that's that's obviously another one. But and then the architectural metals and the framing would be a black powder coat, including the parapet cap. The wood plank, that's actually a fiber cement wood plank, so that's low maintenance. And that's where you see the wood on the
Okay.
elevations. The more flat color area, that's that white panel, and then the rest of the siding is that hardy board
Those
lap
go together
siding.
much better.
So
Yeah.
Mhm.
is that like board and batten?
Yeah, and
Vertical.
with colors, we're happy to adjust the colors if needed. We were just trying to come up with something that's very muted, that doesn't stand out, because we recognize that's what most communities want, is more natural tones. I mean, originally we had designed this very bold and red and black for all our units, for all our cities, and every city kicked it back and said, no, you need something that's more natural tones. So we decided to redesign all the units to be a little bit more like this, although most of them we've been able to not have to have the excess glazing, because it really doesn't help us functionally and actually hurts us energy use wise, which is why most of that glass is actually just for looks and actually has a solid wall behind it.
Is there going to be any signage on the side that's facing Center Street?
Rob, I'm gonna have to check with my client on that, but I think probably, or they can look at doing a monument sign, or as a separate permit, whatever the city needs. I mean, obviously they're gonna want to attract people off the street, but I forgot to have that conversation with them on this one.
But you're only gonna get attract if it's on the south and those coming off the freeway, basically. So that seems like you'd want signage other.
Yeah, I think on Center Street, what my recommendation to the client would be is to have a monument sign and then say turn this way kind of thing, so that they know, because they can't actually access it from Center Street. They have to go onto 800, I think, to get into the parking and drive through.
So is the glazing more than 40%?
Yes.
So you don't need more than 40. So in my mind, reduce it to 40% where it's required.
There, on one of the documents, we have the exact percentage, but so yeah, we can, yeah, we're happy to reduce it and save some money if it's more, but I think it was pretty close though. It was like maybe 41%.
Oh, okay.
Which windows will have the wall behind them? Is it this on the left side elevation?
Yeah, most of it where it's not the actual windows, because they've got shelving and they've got shelving and workstations and stuff on the other side of that wall, so the glass doesn't really benefit them.
And we see the landscape again.
Okay.
So are those umbrellas? I see the trees.
Those are trees.
Trees.
Okay. Would be really
Are
good.
you gonna have outside seating at all?
No,
Not,
not at this
okay.
location. Some of our larger locations we would, but this particular location, there's really only enough space for the parking and the drive-through, and we have the walk up on all of the locations, though that's why it's included. And to be quite honest, most of these soda shops, if you've ever seen them, 99% of the customers are drive-through. So
So you're closing the two driveways that are closest to the intersection then? Currently.
yeah, I believe the transportation department required that.
Yeah, they usually want them pulled away from intersections, so. Yeah,
Yeah, if you ever play City Skylines, you can test that feature out. It actually does work, pulling the sources of traffic away from intersections. It does improve traffic.
so does the landscape requirements, will they extend to the park strips then where they're being removed? Does that make sense? So you got the two existing driveways that are being abandoned. Are those being pulled out and the park strips landscape work being redone? It doesn't show it on here, so.
I think that's actually what those notes, those leaders that are cut off are
Okay.
trying to say.
But no street trees there. You got the street trees pulled back behind the sidewalk. So
Yes, I believe that's the way this one's drawn.
it seems like there was some existing street trees in there too, so may get impacted by the new driveway, but.
Yeah, and I did not do this landscape plan. Obviously, it was done by the civil company that did this. So I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
But if there are existing street trees or a preference for street trees, that we could just take the trees out of that.
I mean, I think that's I don't know if that
Push it
falls
out
under
into
us
the-
or staff can give that direction to meet city code requirements, so. That's all I would
Yeah,
probably say.
the civil engineer was in charge of that portion. I'm the architect, so I didn't have any part in the
Gotcha.
landscape.
Any other questions or comments on the design?
No.
Okay,
Do we need to open up to public comment?
Okay, so are there existing trees down there then? I haven't been by it and noticed. Because I'd hope you wouldn't take them out if at all possible to keep them in.
I think
oh,
this is the existing site.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there are.
Yeah, there's not really any out there along
Okay,
either.
Yeah, it doesn't
either
look like
road.
anything along Center Street, but along the
No.
side street, there are two trees there and it looks like the one
And
on
we're gonna have to take
Oh,
those
right
two
there.
trees out for the new driveway, so
so these
it
two.
would probably, yeah,
oh
so,
yeah, those would be nice.
and then
to
the
keep
landscape
those.
plan is showing yeah, and it's showing those three new trees on the inside of the sidewalk rather than the
Yeah.
park strip, so. Okay.
okay, it doesn't look like there's any public comment based on attendance here. So do we want to just add a recommendation that they look into ensuring that park strip landscaping for the
Mhm.
existing driveway matches
Complies
the
with
rest of the
city.
site?
And not to remove the trees.
I think the trees need to be removed though, because of it's
At
right
least-
where the new entrance.
At least
is.
one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
at least one of them. There may be able, they'll just have to review clear vision triangles. And that again, that's something I think the city staff can work. Aaron's shaking his head, so city staff will work with the applicant on ensuring that all that's taken care of, so.
okay. So the recommendation is match the park strip landscaping for where they're removing the entrances and try and preserve the trees if possible. But obviously that's due to further work with the city.
Yep.
Any other recommendations to add to that?
No, I'll second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We're good on item number 1. Thank you.
Thanks.
And item number 2 today is election of a chair and vice chair. I think I'm probably the vice chair.
I nominate you.
Okay, I'm happy to do
I
that.
second.
Sheesh.
The thing is, sometimes I can't, I work in drive-thru, so sometimes I can't get here. No, now it is. Okay, sorry. Anyway.
Okay, so do we need to
That's
back that
mine.
up? Okay, go ahead, Carol.
Okay, I nominate James for the chair and Bruce for the vice chair.
I second both of those.
Sheesh,
Okay,
man.
do we need to do those separately or? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. And do we need a motion to close? Okay, I motion that we close today's design review committee. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thanks. Everyone.
Aye.